Welcome back to the Modus Super Series for Game 5 of today's 15. And Reece Robinson is about to take on the reigning and defending Super Series champion Andreas Harrysson. It didn't end well for either player in their opening matches, but Robinson was the better performer of the two, only going down by an odd leg against John Henderson, who's been excellent in the opening exchanges on Monday morning. But now Harryson's got that first match, the match back out of the way. Maybe we'll see the Swede return to former glories. He'll be up against it, though. It's a very tough start for Harrysson today.
It is just a little bit. Getting two former weekly winners. And Reece, of course, has won two of them. And he'd like to get his own back on the dartboard because he didn't even get a match dart against John Henderson.
First leg, it's Andreas to throw first.
Two players that have become synonymous with the Super Series. I think that's fair to say. Both of them played on that Champions Night that saw Harrysson achieve his career high.
100.
So far. Because people have done wonderful things here and it has been a springboard to other things. But that brings up an interesting point because there are players who see this as what they want to do. Reece Robinson might never go back to the professional tour. He might just be happy playing here and playing whenever he wants. And that's okay.
134.
I'll tell you what, he's got an incredible focus at the start of this match. He's a player who can be fast and slow at times, Reece Robinson, but both times he's approached Yoki here, he's really set himself.
140.
I think he was thinking about a 9-darter after the first dart of this leg. The last one flies high and that won't happen, but this is a really strong start against the throw.
Well, come on, Reece. You got to get the memo. You got to try and beat Connor Scott to the old 3 bullseye 9. Get the 180, go for the 171, and then you try for the 3 bulls. If you want to go down in Super Series history, that is going to be the one thing that people should chase, in my opinion, because that would be a 9-darter that would break the internet. A bit like the guy who tried the 9 in Russia.
Yeah, saw that. Do you know what, though? The last time he was here, I think he was more businesslike than ever, Reece Robinson. Maybe he's thinking more about winning than those showpiece flashy finishes.
On the first leg.
And he wins the first leg against the throw, a dozen darter to do so as well.
I think Andreas Harrysson has been thrown at the wolves here because everybody's playing well against him.
Game on.
Defending a title here at the Modus Super Series is synonymously difficult. But at the minute, every time Andreas looks at the board, somebody's ploughing that treble 20.
180.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. In the first leg, Reece Robinson hit 5 perfect darts.
140.
Come on, Reece, go downstairs. He has not taken his eye off that treble 20 at all. It's on his mind, isn't it?
It is.
81.
I think it is. I think he thinks he's playing well enough at the start of the day to do something like that. We've only seen one this year, haven't we? Jared Cole producing a 9-dart finish.
140.
But last year, we had a little spell where they were happening on pretty much a monthly basis.
Yeah, Steve West, Leonard Gates, Sebastian Białowski.
Yeah, not to forget
95.
Fallon Sherritt with a historic 9-dart finish here at the Super Series. One of 2 that she achieved in 2023. First female in the PDC and first female in front of the cameras.
Seen quite a lot of 9-darters over the last week or so. Stephen Bunting got one last week. Boris Krutchmer got one last week.
And also, while we're on the topic of the women, congratulations to Lisa Ashton for a double header at the weekend. Also, Gemma Hayter, who was actually here on the Women's Week final and has just made her case to be involved in the next Women's Week we host here at the Super Series.
Yeah, I do get the feeling that she will be here. Double 18. Double 9 is a fine find there for Andreas Harrysson and a 12-dart, and boy, did he need that.
Well, he's turned up now. That is exactly what he needed, and it was a hat-trick of 140s before taking out the 81. He responds to a 12-dart break with a 12-dart break of his own.
140.
What did you make of the women's match play draw, by the way? Because unfortunate that Eileen de Graaf's not going to be able to play, so Katie Sheldon gets what you could call a wild card into the women's world match play. But as soon as we start talking about something else,
Every leg. Every single leg. He's open with a 180.
he's like a cat, Reece Robinson. It's all about me. Me. And it is about you, Reece.
55.
Come on. Dart 4, question mark.
Well, he's got worse, hasn't he, every leg? He's meant to get better. He's gone 180. He's got 5 perfect darts, 4 perfect darts, 3 perfect darts.
He's got to be careful here, Murph, because he's setting a standard, as you can see with the maximums. But this is going to focus Andreas as well. He's setting the tone.
96.
Seen it so many times. We saw it with Scott Taylor and Daryl Pilgrim.
Oh, the average is ridiculous. Reece Robinson's darts too hot to handle.
100.
There is an argument to say that at the start of a series, people can be a little bit nervous, maybe. A little bit cold.
100.
But when you get into week 3, people have had plenty of time to prepare for this. And at this stage of the year, there's no excuse not to be ready.
100.
There are so many ADC tournaments
110.
that these people can play. And Nordic and Baltic stuff for this guy. They've got no excuse.
Here we go then.
Game
There he
shot
goes.
the
And
third leg.
I'm just going to say something here
Andreas
now.
Harrysson.
Reece Robinson is averaging 115.25. He has
Well, there gets
been
Reece to throw first.
incredible
Game
this
on.
morning in the 2 matches that he's played. He may lose both of them.
I think the best way to look at it at the
60.
minute is that they see Robinson as a massive threat. You ever been to a darts exhibition where a really good player, a really good pro, will have a bit of a laugh with one of the punters and, you know, maybe pull off some trick shots, but then the organizer comes up to you, taps you on the shoulder and says, "This next opponent of yours, he can play."
135.
Or she can play. And then all of a sudden, that switch is flicked. And you go into game mode. And I get the feeling that people are going into that extra game mode when they play against Robinson because they know how good he can be.
Probably should have been thinking about the 19s there, Reece Robinson. Needs to switch now. Well, it turned out he didn't need to switch. He just filled it up instead. Had he not done so, he wouldn't be on a finish.
He hasn't even completed his second match, and now I'm going to start digging for daily 180 records. It's ridiculous. He's at 7. And here's the stupid thing. If you don't hit this, Reece, you might be 3-1 down.
1 dart at the ball.
101.
And look what Andreas Harrysson has here. Brings back memories, doesn't it?
Oh, no, don't look, Reece. This is completely necessary.
81.
Cam Crabtree's watching this right now saying, "Why didn't you do that the last time you left it?"
Good miss to leave tops just in case. Oh, that's a lucky hit in the end. Only just the right side of the wire for Reece Robinson, but he does get 2 darts at double 8, and he only needs 1. All square in this brilliant battle.
Yeah, doubles have been fabulous today. Hendo, 8 hits from 12.
Game on.
Tommy Morris, 5 hits from 9. Robinson, so far today, 3 from 4 in his first game.
85.
And in his next game, 2 from 4. The ratios are ridiculous.
Well, the lower average in this game is just shy of 107. And one of these players is going to lose
99.
their first 2 matches. They're going to be pointless after 2, playing like this.
$60.
It was about a year ago since Daryl Pilgrim set that average record, wasn't it? It was early in a series.
Yeah, last summer, yeah.
Maybe the conditions are prime. for something like that.
Interesting you speak about
140.
conditions, because two people last week both said it's the best environment for darts. Jim Long, of course, who won the week, said it's his favourite tournament. Everything about it
140.
is conducive to playing good darts. And Keegan Brown had a little chuck on the stage before sitting in the commentary box alongside me. He said it's the best throw he's ever played on.
180.
Well, it's election time, Paul, so we'll bring it. Not another one.
Well, you can't hit another one in this leg. Well, I'll tell you what, we are guaranteed another leg after this, no matter what
82.
happens. He's already hit 5. At no point in this game has he been able to breathe.
42.
And here comes the assassin Harrysson.
Andreas Harrysson, 116.
This would be so typical of Robinson's day. Well, it's not going to happen, so maybe he can breathe now.
Okay.
101.
Just for lols.
40.
That guy doesn't laugh. He barely says a word.
That wasn't necessary, wasn't it? Literally.
35.
Oh no.
Andreas
Now
Harrysson,
Andreas is thinking, well, why have I left 15?
Double six then.
Game shot.
And
on the fifth
Harrison's
leg.
2-ball setup.
Andreas Harrysson.
Results in the following checkout. And he leads the match, despite Reece
Six leg
Robinson
is
averaging
Reece to
almost
throw
110,
Game on.
hitting 5 180s. Yes, 5 180s in 5 legs. 6 in 6. 6 in 6. Oh, not quite.
I'll
But
tell
the
you what,
point is, he's losing.
if Andreas Harrysson was to win this match and Robinson would have 6 or 7 180s and Andreas has got none, that's like nothing I've ever seen before.
140.
There you see, look at that. It's ridiculous, isn't it? The 140 hitting from Harrysson, I mean, that has to be admired. In fact, he's
43.
got 140s where Robinson's got 180s.
Yeah.
5 more than him.
Yeah, look at the total numbers. 14 for Robinson, 16 for Harrysson.
100.
Ridiculous consistency.
And it all amounts to astronomical averages. 104.64, 108.3. And the point, you're hitting 100 and
60.
your average is going down.
Harrysson could win the match in the next 6 darts.
100.
And then you'd have to give Reece Robinson a little bit of space, I think.
I think I'm right in saying the record for one player is 7 in a game at the Super Series.
Yeah, I remember Josh Payne doing that in
140.
Southampton.
Yeah, and Mark Durbridge has done it here.
Well, Robinson is a creative cat.
95.
But with Harrysson on
Reece
66 for the
180.
match, this is not the time to be creative, is it? Maybe it is. Bull. Oh, that would have been something.
93.
The first start was tricky, wasn't it?
Andreas
It was a
Harrysson,
bold attempt, but the
66.
first start was low in the ball. He will not believe that he's going to be pointless, but he will be if Harrysson hits this.
Game
Incredible.
shot and the match.
Reece Robinson has hit 5 180s. He's averaged 107, and he's got no points, no wins from his 2 games against John Henderson and Andreas Harrysson. It was the nightmare start fixture-wise. He stood up, he's performed, but it's Harrysson who's won. He played well himself. Look at that, 102.72, and expect to win with that standard.